Assalamu alaikum, dear students. It's your revision class. Book is Understanding History, Book 1, Chapter number 3, Indus Valley Civilization, and this is your fifth lesson. Learning objectives are revision of chapter number 3, revision of short questions, and revision of long questions. The subtopics which we are going to revise are Introduction of the unit, Harappan civilization, city dwellers and master urban planners, seals of Harappans, and end of Indus Valley civilization. Pages which we will revise are 11 till 14. Students, you already have studied this topic in your first term. Now we are going to revise it, and after revision you are going to attempt a given assignment. So nearly 500 years ago, an ancient civilization existed on the banks of the river Indus in what is present-day Pakistan. This old and rich civilization is known today as the Indus Valley civilization. Sometimes it is also called the Harappa civilization, as archaeologists in the 1920s found the remains of two large cities, Harappa in the Sahiwal district of Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh. Since then, 2,300 sites of Harappa or Harappan culture have been found in the areas to the east and north of the river Indus. Another site discovered recently, 1974, is Mehergarh in Balochistan, dating back to 7000 to 5500 BCE. It is even older than Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. The Indus Valley civilization flourished along the banks of river Indus, mainly between 2600 C and 1300 BCE. River Indus starts from the mountains to the north of modern-day Pakistan and then finds its way down south to flow into the Arabian Sea. The river provided transport and water and fertile soil for crops. The rich soil of the river made agriculture easier by giving high-yield crops. This feature was not uncommon because other civilizations had sprung up around rivers such as Nile in Egypt, Tigris and Euphrates in Mesopotamia, and Yangtze River in China. The Sumerian culture of Mesopotamia was discovered in 1890s and the ancient civilization of China in the 1970s. Harappan civilization. Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were once the centers of this ancient civilization. Knowledge about this civilization comes from the work of archaeologists who discovered these sites and the buildings, tools, artifacts, it means man-made things, jewelry and sculpture found there and studied them in detail. Among these, the use of bronze, copper and quartz. Bronze and copper both are metals, and quartz for casting vessels, statues, and making a variety of knives. Fish hooks, arrowheads, saws, chisel, pins and bangles shows the cultural advancement of the Indus people. By these finds, we can come to know the details of their diet, waste disposal and housing. The Indus Valley people were highly skilled agriculturists. They used irrigation techniques and had large granaries or storehouses to store surplus of crops gathered from the surrounding areas. Cotton was grown as a crop and it led to the spinning and weaving of cotton, in which the Indus Valley people again seem to be world's pioneer. City dwellers and master urban planners. The Harappans built big cities entirely with bricks, which were sun-baked and clean-fired. Clean-fired is oven-baked, you can say. The streets were paved and wide with well-laid brick-lined sewerage ducts underneath. Toy carts in terracotta and bronze and ox-drawn wagons testify that wheeled transport were used. Examples of public works on a large scale are found in the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro, which is like a medium-sized swimming pool with steps going down at each end and carefully sealed with bitumen. So you can see that they were very civilized people. The two-story houses had a public water supply. The cities were divided into residential and official areas and are examples of excellent urban planning. John Kay, a British historian, says, clearly Harappan settlements were not just India's first cities and townships, but its first, indeed the world's first planned cities and townships. By 2600 BCE, the Indus Valley civilization covered the largest geographical area ever, as numerous sites have been discovered since the excavation began. These sites were found in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, further north near the Oxus River in Afghanistan, near the Iranian frontier with Balochistan, and along the Makran coast. Fort Dravar on the desert frontier with India, Jammu, and in India at Gujarat, Rajasthan, and in the state of Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Seals of the Harappans. That the Indus Valley civilization sites had a similar culture can be verified by the amazing uniformity of their monument systems. The most mysterious finds, however, are the 1000 seals, which are small, flat, square, or rectangular objects with the pictures of animals such as humped bull, the elephant, the tiger, and a rhinoceros. The inscriptions or writing on these seals has not been deciphered or so far. These seals are similar to those found in Sumer and show that the Sumerian traded with the Indus Valley people. John Kay says that what is amazing is the similarity in several hundred Harappan sites discovered after 1947 by Indus Valley archaeologists, who say our overwhelming impression is of cultural uniformity, both throughout the several centuries during which the Harappan civilization flourished and over the vast area it occupied. The presence of the bull on the seals tell us that the Indus people were agriculturists and that it was also the sign of one of their gods. They worshipped many gods and goddesses, and commercial activity was a good source of income. The symbol of the unicorn may have been used for the rich class of the people. End of the Indus Valley civilization. The civilized people of Indus Valley seems to have decreased in population around the second millennium BCE. Various reasons are given for the decline, such as the drying up of the Indus basin due to change in river course and the decreases in summer monsoon. This led to a slow deforestation and loss of agriculture. Since 2/3 of the Harappan sites were located in and around the Indus basin, they seem to have been abundant, and the civilization gradually become became extinct. Extinct mean finished or vanished from the earth. Since there has been no discovery of weapons in the excavation, it shows that the Indus Valley people were not warlike. This may also have been the cause of decline of Indus Valley civilization. Students, you have to study pages from 11 till 14 to answer the question at the end of this video. Next, you will watch a video that will help you to learn about Indus Valley civilization.
This guy, the Indus Valley Civilization, because it's my all-time favorite. The Indus Valley Civilization was located in the floodplain of the Indus and Sawardi rivers, and it was about the best place in the world to have an ancient civilization because the rivers flooded very reliably twice a year, which meant that it had the most available calories per acre of pretty much anywhere on the planet. We know the Indus Valley Civilization flourished a long time ago, probably around 3000 BCE. Why is that question literally hanging over my head? But people of the Indus Valley were trading with Mesopotamians as early as 3500 BCE. We also know that it was the largest of the ancient civilizations. Archaeologists have discovered more than 1,500 sites. So what do we know about this civilization? Let's go to the thought bubble. Everything we know about the Indus Valley civilization comes from archaeology, because while they did use written language, we don't know how to read it, and no Rosetta Stone has thus far appeared to help us learn it. I meant the other Rosetta Stone thought bubble. Yeah. Although, come to think of it, either would be acceptable. So here's what we know. They had amazing cities. Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro are the best known, with dense, multi-story homes constructed out of uniformly sized bricks along perpendicular streets. I mean, this wasn't some ancient world version of Houston, more like Chicago. This means they must have had some form of government and zoning, but we don't know what gave this government its authority. Cities were oriented to catch the wind and provide a natural form of air conditioning. And they were clean. Most homes were connected to a centralized drainage system that used gravity to carry waste and water out of the city in big sewer ditches that ran under the main avenues, a plumbing system that would have been the envy of many 18th century European cities. Also, in Mohenjo-Daro, the largest public building was not a temple or a palace, but a public bath, which historians call the Great Bath. We don't know what the Great Bath was used for, but since later Indian culture placed a huge emphasis on ritual purity, which is the basis for the caste system, some historians have speculated that the bath might have been like a giant baptismal pool. Also, they traded. One of the coolest things that the Indus Valley civilization produced were seals used as identification markers on goods and clay tablets. These seals contain the writing that we still can't decipher and a number of fantastic designs, many featuring animals and monsters. One of the most famous and frightening is of a man with what looks like water buffalo horns on his head, sitting cross-legged between a tiger and a bull. We don't know what's really going on here, but it's safe to say that this was a powerful dude because he seems to be able to control the tiger. How did these seals let us know that they traded? Well, because we found them in Mesopotamia, not the Indus Valley. Plus, archaeologists have found stuff like bronze in the Indus Valley that is not native to the region. So what did they trade? Cotton cloth. Still such a fascinating export, incidentally, that it will be the subject of the 40th and final video in this very series. But here's the most amazing thing about the Indus Valley people. They were peaceful. Despite archaeologists finding 1,500 sites, they have found very little evidence of warfare and almost no weapons. Thanks, Thought Bubble. Okay, before we talk about the fascinating demise of the Indus Valley civilization, it's time for the open letter. Magic! I wonder what the secret compartment has for me today. Oh, fancy clothes! I guess the secret compartment didn't think I was dressed up enough for the occasion. An open letter to historians. Dear historians, the Great Bath? Really? The Great Bath? I'm trying to make history fascinating and you give me a term that evokes scented candles, bath salts, and Frederick Fekkai hair products? I know sometimes the crushingly boring names of history aren't your fault. You didn't name the Federalist Papers or the Austro-Hungarian Empire or Adam Smith. But when you do get a chance to name something, you go with the Great Bath, not the epic bath of Mohenjo-Daro, or the bath to end all baths, or the pool that ruled, or the moist mystery of Mohenjo-Daro, or the wet wonder. The Great Bath? Really? You can do better. Best wishes, John Green. So what happened to these people? Well, here's what didn't happen to them. They didn't morph into the current residents of that area of the world, Hindu Indians or Muslim Pakistanis. Those people probably came from the Caucasus. Instead, sometime around 1750 BCE, the Indus Valley civilization declined until it faded into obscurity. Why? Historians have three theories. One, conquest. Turns out to be a terrible military strategy not to have any weapons, and it's possible people from the Indus Valley were completely overrun by people from the Caucasus. Two, environmental disaster. It's possible they brought about their own end by destroying their environment. Three, earthquake. The most interesting theory is that a massive earthquake changed the course of the rivers so much that a lot of the tributaries dried up. Without adequate water supplies for irrigation, the cities couldn't sustain themselves, so people literally just picked up and left for greener pastures. Well, probably not pastures. It's unlikely they became nomads. They probably just moved to a different plane.
So students, we just have revised our chapter number 3. Now here your assignment question. Question number 1, explain how the Indus Valley people grew crops. Study your topic again and answer this question. And the second question is, why do you think did the Indus Valley civilization become extinct? On the last of the unit you can find its answer. Complete your assignments on your notebooks. Take care.